What's up, guys? It's Nate here from the Yakuza with my channel mate,
Dill.
and we're here with a Chapter 1 of Samurai 8 review.
We just read it. We just fucking read it 5 minutes ago. And I don't know about you, Nate, but I was fucking with it. It seemed pretty creative.
Yeah.
Definitely different from. It's like after writing Naruto and everything, which is like the biggest like manga in the entire world, debatably. Like he really went because there's some similar themes, like there's similar character designs and stuff like that, but it is not Naruto. Like it is
not at all.
It's this whole new thing.
Yeah, and going into it thinking it was going to be like Naruto really surprises you that the second Hokage is a dick. Which he was back then too, but it was for the good of the city. But not now. Like now he's just a fucking dick.
I was gonna say it's pretty much the opposite of Naruto, because like Naruto has like it's more set in the past. I mean, it might be the present, but just as far as like not a lot of technology, like ninjas, like no real technology. Like there's computers and stuff, but it's not a focus.
Very simplistic.
This is like sci-fi, intergalactic. Cyborgs, obviously, but basically we start off with. I mean, the prologue to it was somebody explaining to somebody else about like the keys in Pandora's box, and how many was it? 8 keys or was it 6? I can't remember.
I think it's 8.
Maybe
it is 6.
Either basically there's this thing called Pandora's box, and they have to collect all the keys like to open it. God knows what's inside, but we find out the keys are actually like certain samurai.
Yeah, no, I think it's all samurai, isn't it? Or no? Maybe it is just certain. It was hard to understand. Because they made it sound like there was warriors and then there were samurais. And samurais were cyborgs every time. And they had the key and like they fall apart and there's like that block in them. Or maybe they can just put a key in them but they don't have to. Maybe that's what it is.
I think it would be specific ones, because I'd find it hard to believe that there's only going to be 8 samurais. Like for one, the dude that was looking for Hachimaru was a samurai.
Yeah.
So, it gets interesting really fast. Basically, Hachimaru has.
Well, he also was a Ronin though. Like he was a samurai, now Ronin.
What the bandit was, like I was talking about the dude that actually was his master, like the cat.
Oh no, yeah, he's. I'm sorry, I thought you were talking about the second Hokage-esque character, because he's no longer like he's a Ronin.
But
that's what he said.
Pretty much Hachimaru is this kid who's on life support. He's too feeble to even go outside of his house. He's on like a shit ton of like life support and shit. And
7. Okay, so it's 7 keys,
but 7?
Yeah, but if the cat is a samurai, maybe she's just not counting that one because he already has it. But it says 7 keys. That opens the box. That's his duty. So that's definitely the cat.
I say that the keys would be specific samurai.
I would too.
Like, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of samurai. Especially like that one, like the Ronin, like he used to be a samurai. Like, but yeah, Hachimaru, the main character, he's hooked up on life support. He can't leave his house. He can't move more than like a few feet away from his like life support. He's kind of like the dude from SpongeBob, glass bones, paper skin. He's afraid of, I forget what it was called, but he's basically afraid of
I can't pronounce it.
Yeah,
he has a phobia of sharp
objects because he's always getting like needles and like IV drip and a bunch of shit. But basically he's just the weakest like main character you could ever think of, and his father like is trying to build him something where he can actually go into like the outside world, and so he saves like a bunch of money, and he needs one more piece for this like wheelchair, whatever it is. It's
like a mobile life support type thing.
And he goes to these Ronin, and it's the Ronin that looks like the second Hokage. Everybody that saw Samurai 8 like noted that this dude looks a lot like the second Hokage. And he goes to like trade them, but for some reason he decides to be like really rude to them, even though they're like fucking Ronin and samurai. He's seen them murder people. So he basically there's a key on his neck
Yeah.
He had a key on his neck, and that
From a samurai. I can't recall the
and the
name.
second Hokage-looking guy could tell that it was from
A very specific person that he
that
had been
had-
looking for.
that had the vampire blade,
Yeah.
which is like this crimson sword. So right there, and as soon you even heard me say this as we were reading it. As soon as he made like the one dude commit
The
suicide,
warrior dude.
yeah, it's like I knew that they were gonna have Hachimaru do that, and that he was actually gonna pass it. Like
Yeah.
it just seemed so believable as a plot device. But yeah, basically, dude goes to Hachimaru's house to get the sword, and
You discover.
yeah, he makes him do like what I just said.
Well, no, before that, you discover why he's still alive, why Hachimaru's living. It's because he's using that blade
Yeah,
to stay alive, like to keep, like to make his heart pump.
it has that much energy. So he was terminal even in
So
this,
he
like,
would have died of birth, basically, if he didn't have this.
or at whatever point he got sick. He
Yeah.
was terminal, because we were talking about it at the beginning. We were like, this Hachimaru is the kind of character that would be terminally ill. Would be like somebody at like somebody that would be like, okay, you have until the age of 10, and then like you're gonna die from cancer or whatever else. But since it was in like a futuristic setting, like with the life support system, they could keep him alive. But it ended up
Yeah.
being even worse than that, because he would have died without even. Because it must be some kind of like energy or something pumping off of the sword.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, that would make sense if it's just pumping his heart, hence why everything else is so brittle and frail and like worthless almost. And he has like a million allergies
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
liquid diet.
Yeah. So you discover that's inside of him, and that there's only one way to get it out, and you need an authorization code, which makes his heart stop.
Which the authorization code is
Was,
just him dying.
yeah.
Yeah. So I thought it was a pretty good first chapter. I thought that the Ronin Shogun armor was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like
I like that.
so like after he like kills himself or whatever, it activates. What was it called? Was it called was it called a locker? No, the locker was
The walker was the ball that he used.
that transformed him into
Yeah.
a cyborg.
Yeah.
So it transforms him into a cyborg, which like
Which
I
is a
love.
samurai as well.
Yeah, I love the whole cyborg fucking design where like they like come apart. And you
Yeah.
can see like them internally
Yeah.
and like all that shit. Like it's so insane. And his cyborg form looks fucking sick compared to like his.
It reminds me of the
form.
Prometheans from Halo. You never played Halo,
No.
but they were very similar. Their guns acted the same way. Like you would pick them up and then they'd form into your hand.
Oh,
Like that
okay.
kind of stuff is cool. So I like it a lot too.
Yeah, it was really sick. The Ronin Shogun armor though, I thought was fucking insane. I really, 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 really hope that the Ronin, like the second Hokage looking guy, joins them, like as because.
After getting his ass
Face
beat.
it, like in every shonen, you like
That happens,
what
yeah.
shonen does the bad guy that you beat the fuck out of early on not join you? Like you know, there's always that one.
Horrible.
There's always that one. Yeah, but Zoro didn't like pirates. You see what I'm saying? Like there's always that one.
But Luffy
dude.
also didn't beat Zoro to death.
There's always that one.
No, there is.
It's
Vegeta.
yeah, it's just
Piccolo
like
even, like if you're going to go back to...
Teo Ren from Shaman King.
Alright.
There's all so I really because that
Yeah,
I think
was
that character would just be wasted because he looks like a badass. He's
Yeah, I was a little
real rough.
unhappy that he was
He
like
is a
such dick.
samurai. Yeah, I didn't think he was going. I thought he was going to be like a dick, but in like a realistic way. I didn't
Yeah,
think he was gonna be
exactly.
straight
Not
evil.
not just straight up like, you know, my way or the highway, but
But
like...
his Shogun form looked insane, and it kind
Yeah.
of makes me wonder what Hachimaru's Shogun form is
Yeah.
going to look like.
What about the
eventually.
cat?
Yeah, no, we haven't even talked about him. Like he's a badass as well. Like, because the cat, we came to the conclusion that the cat was the one talking to
the master. at
to the
beginning.
master. at the
Yeah,
beginning?
he is,
I think.
for sure.
Okay.
And not only that, we apparently, obviously there's going to be some big fight at the end of this, and obviously Hachimaru is going to be the one to probably have a hand in that fight for the good side, so to say. But it's important to note that, like, no matter how strong that cat is, obviously he's not strong enough, because his job is just to go find someone who can do what he cannot, basically.
Yeah, and did we already talk about this? The cat created that video game as a way to
Yeah, well, I
find
don't-
people.
I don't know if the cat specifically did, but that
he
game.
Said he said he did.
Okay, so I missed that he said
Okay.
he did, but I definitely
I
heard
might
that
be wrong, but I think
it
so.
was. Well, it was certainly, regardless, the more important part of that is that its job was that it circulated all throughout the galaxy to find potential candidates for samurai.
Yeah. So the conclusion I draw from this is the cat dies. The
Right
cat
now?
will die.
Or like in the future?
No, just like how
Okay.
the master always dies.
Yeah, that's true. Way to bring down the video.
But I honestly, I've been excited for the series for months. Like ever since it was announced, like I was really hyped for it. It lived up to it. It was 72. It's usually the first chapter of a manga is usually like 59 pages. It's usually like
Yeah, this one was
50 to
70.
60. This one was 72. I liked it a lot. The art in it's crazy because he uses a different illustrator, but he picked and I read this. He picked an illustrator that like kind of, I don't want to say studied his style, but they have similar drawing styles because Kishimoto did draw the entirety of Naruto.
Yeah.
But he just, because he's so old and everything, he wanted to just focus on the plot of it. So he got an illustrator that was like similar to, because I want to say that illustrator was on the staff for Naruto, but I don't know that.
I don't know.
I thought I saw that, but I don't.
I thought I
don't wanna say that,
recognized the
actually.
name, but maybe it just happened to be a coincidence. I don't know. But by the way, I think the cat might be based off of Naruto. Maybe.
Based off of who?
It's off of Naruto's character.
Oh.
It's a little bit out there, but that might come to reality at some point. So I just had to put
I'm
it
gonna
out
take
there in the
your word on it.
world.
I'm gonna take your word on
Oh,
it.
there's something else. We haven't even talked about it before we made the video. The fact that there's chakra.
The three bodies. Of
I was going to
chakra
say, yeah,
something
and
like
there's
that.
3 bodies. So, I wonder what that means. That's interesting.
Yeah. Okay, and I also want to bring up something that we did discuss.
The hockey.
The hockey.
There's 3 types of hockey, Dill. There's
In-
3 types of hockey. 3
in-
types of chakra.
Oh my god. In the fight in the video game, well, even the Crimson Blade was like it was like an energy sword. It wasn't just a straight up katana or anything.
Yeah.
But basically, the samurai swords is like a handle you pull out. And
It's
you-
like an extension of your soul, I think. That's what it sounds like. That's
Well,
kind of what the
dude,
cat was making it
And
sound
Shaman
like.
King, like, it kind of reminds me of an Oversoul from Shaman King. I'm not going to get into it, but like, basically they take the handle out, and like, let's say that you take the handle out in your right hand, then in your left hand you create like this. You have like this energy or this soul, and you kind of like create this like
the
sword
blade.
the blade from the handle. And
Yeah.
I think that that's the only way that you can damage like a samurai, because samurais they basically have some kind of control
That's
over all
a really good
technology,
point.
because he healed the dog. The dog was a
Yeah.
robot, and he put the dog back together.
But
and,
more
like,
importantly, that makes so much sense, because do you not remember in the Hachimaru fight
with
with
his
the,
regular sword.
Yeah, but before that, he's like, you can't, like, you're not going to scratch, like, this armor with that
Yeah.
kind of sword. And then the cat takes him out of that armor somehow, and then he's like, you can cut him now. Like, show him your strength, pretty much. And then
Yeah.
he did it. So I think you're right. You have to use one of those swords in order to be able to damage the armor that
And
Samurai
we'll get a
had.
name for that ability, and I
Yeah.
guarantee that there's going to be more with that ability than just creating the
blade.
The sword.
Yeah.
There will probably be variations of it depending on your own personality, where it's like you can
I hope. That'd be
you
awesome.
can manipulate that energy in other ways.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that, whether it be elemental or constructs.
Or maybe just different well, probably not different weapon types. It is samurai. Who knows?
I mean, yeah, I guarantee different weapon types. I guarantee it. They won't just go straight swords for everybody. I can see somebody with like a spear, or like a bow, or like
A glaive,
because
if you will.
But this series has a lot of potential. I hope that they do it right. From the first chapter, hit it off with me. I haven't seen
It's okay. No.
I haven't seen what people are thinking about it, but I liked it a lot. I
Yeah,
love the setting.
I actually also enjoyed it a lot. I can't wait for this.
The fight was pretty lit. Like, it was illustrated pretty.
Yeah.
It was pretty lit.
I always take first chapters with a grain of salt, because it's just like anything, even like a video game or a movie trailer. Their job is to draw you in, like have something that gets your attention. So, which they did a good job of. But I'm gonna go into it with an open mind still.
Well, I think that if this series does well within like the next year or 2 years, like, I think an anime adaptation of this would look fucking insane. Like, think about
Yeah.
everything we're seeing
Yeah.
in an anime context. Like,
Yeah, that'd be really good.
with like animation from 2 years now, like newest fucking anime. I think that it would look sick.
I'd be down.
So I would give this chapter 1 about an 8 out of 10. Like it was pretty
I'd give
spot
it a-
on.
I'd give it a 10 out of 10, honestly.
You motherfucker.
Well, here's the thing. If I don't say 10 out of 10, I have to figure out what's wrong with it. What was wrong with it? What was wrong with it? There wasn't anything that I was like, I wish they wouldn't have done this, or it wasn't exciting enough or anything. It was a really good chapter.
That
Maybe
one dude
9
looked
out
like
of
heat
10.
on. That's not something that's wrong with it, but you pointed that out.
Yeah.
The dude from the video game was heat on. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
and the guy who was fighting looked like Naruto. A lot.
So we plan on. Yeah, he did. He really fucking
Yeah.
did. we
We'll just great
we-
plain saver that. But yeah, no, 9 out of 10. I'm gonna save 10 out of 10 for like the chapters that I loved. It was good. I can't complain. 9 out of 10.
So we plan on. We're gonna start
Covering
reviewing
this.
this weekly.
Yeah, for sure.
And we think it comes out weekly. It says that it's going to be in Shonen Jump weekly, so I assume even if it's monthly, we'll start reviewing it. But we both love Naruto so much that even if this would have bombed, like I was so ready for Kishimoto's next work because I enjoy Boruto. It just doesn't fuel me. I'm hoping that this series really like.
Yeah.
It won't be Naruto. Like what could be Naruto? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But
I mean, I don't mind Boruto.
I don't want to compare it.
I think Boruto just needs to come out more
I'm
often.
a Boruto hater.
Yeah.
I hate people that hate on Boruto, but it's not.
I think it just needs to come out more often
It
because you get the chapters like you wait a month and it's like, oh, it's a setup chapter. I waited a month for a setup chapter.
Yeah, that's so true.
See, because whenever we complained about One Piece having setup chapters sometimes, but at least you know next week you're gonna get another chapter that could be exciting. But with this, it's like, oh, I have to wait another month to hope that something cool happens. You know?
Yeah, and the Boruto manga is definitely better than the anime, but
Oh yeah, for sure.
we're gonna probably
Yeah.
we're probably gonna wrap this video up, guys. If you'd like to hit the like button, hit the notification bell. If you would like to join said Yakuza, and